Hello and welcome back to the course on Power BI. In the previous tutorial, we finalized our wonderful and amazing looking area chart, or a stacked area chart to be more precise. And today we're going to talk about filters and slicers in Power BI. Very interesting lecture. So let's have a look. We've got our area chart here. We are talking about different age groups. They're colored. We can highlight them. Actually, something I noticed before we proceed, I noticed that we got two colors of the same. Two of them have the same color, black. Let's go ahead and change that. We already know how to work with colors. Let's go into data colors and let's make this one purple, this lower one, the one that's towards the bottom. Right, no, it's this one. They just look similar. They're different colors, but they look similar. So let's make this one purple. Or maybe, is there a darker purple? You can change custom colors here like that. So yeah, no, these two look similar as well. So play around with the colors and pick something that you prefer, that you like, because data science is not just about finding the insights and analytics. It's also about being an artist and finding wonderful colors that help you represent your insights in the most engaging and convincing way. So there we go. Let's maybe make it a bit darker. Too dark. Too close to blue. All right. So this can keep going on for a while. I'm just gonna select a green that I like. There we go. That'll do. All right. So today, filters. Right. So we have different colors which we can highlight our visualization with, and we can just we can tell by the color legend which one is which. And it's good that they come in order. So 16 to 19, 20 to 24, and so on, and it just makes sense, right? Now, how can we add, for example, gender? How can we change this visualization quickly and look at it for males and females separately? Well, we could recreate the same one and just have one for a male, one for female, right? But what we can do is we can add a filter. We can just take gender, and so at the bottom here in your fields tab, you have an option called filters, right? And here you already have the items that you added by default. So you've got age, you've got period, and you've got unemployed. And here you can change these filters here. But we're not going to do that right now. We're going to take gender and we're going to drag it into filter, right? So in fact, you can just with these drop downs. Actually, you can't remove the existing ones because they're part of the visualization. But what you can do is now you can just look at gender, and here you can specify which one you want to look at. You want to look at men, there's your visualization, or you can look at women without men, then you've got that visualization. So you can do some advanced filtering, and this is more applicable to when you have lots of different items in there. Then you might want to look at whether your item or whether your category contains a word or starts with a letter and things like that. Then you can add additional conditions there, but we're not going to do that. That is something more advanced. You can do top N. Again, that's for larger variables with more categories than just two. So we're just going to stick to the basic filtering. And basically, you can adjust your visualization. So if you want a visualization for men, you might keep it like this, and then you might duplicate your tab and do another one just for women. And in this case, we're just going to keep it on select all, or if you unselect, that's the same thing. So that's a handy approach, something good to know about. So same thing you can do with age. You can just select certain age groups that you want to visualize, and then just keep your visualization at that. And it's kind of like hard coding that into the visualization. Yes, you can adjust it. You can totally just change it whenever you want to. But the next approach that I'm going to show you, it's a bit more flexible. So that's filtering in Power BI, and always good to keep that in mind so that you can control your visualization like that. Now we're going to look at slicing. So let's go ahead and duplicate this page, and we just call this page 2. And it's always a great idea to duplicate your pages when you want to add something and you're not sure if it's going to be better or worse. Just duplicate the page and experiment on the new page, and then you have the old one as a copy. So we're going to reduce the size, and now we're going to do something that we've never done before, something new. We're going to add another visualization onto this same workspace. This is a beautiful thing in Power BI, that it's very simple to add more than one visualization onto your workspace. And all you have to do is just make sure you haven't selected this visualization, so just click somewhere in the blank area on the workspace, and then select the visualization you like. And in this case, we're going to start small. We're going to just start by adding a slicer, because that's the topic of today's tutorial. So just go ahead and click on the slicer over here. And what the slicer does is, it's like a filter, but it's a visual filter. It's not something that is, you know, somewhere here hidden in the parameters. It's something that is like very obvious straight in your visualization, and it's easy to control. And that's why I mentioned that when we were doing the filtering here, we're kind of like hard coding the filters in, whereas with slicers, they're right away there, right? So they're on the visualization and very, very evident, very easy to control. So let's go ahead and with this slicer, add the same parameter that we were talking about. We'll add a gender. So if you add gender into the slicer, as you can see, it automatically decides what it should look like. And now, without having to configure anything at all, it's all ready. All you have to do now is just select which gender you would like to visualize, and select that. It automatically adjusts your chart. Select that, automatically adjusts your chart. If you want to select all, just uncheck that, and there you go, it's selected that. You can also press this button over here, clear selections, and it will automatically bring back your full chart. And again, you can add another slicer. So click on the white space, just click anywhere, not on these two. Add a slicer, and this time, let's say you want gender. No, we've just done gender. You want age. And here you can just select the ones that you want. So if you want to select one, just select it. If you want to select several, then hold down Control and on your keyboard and just select the ones that you want. And there you go. So that's a very handy way to quickly control your visualization with slicers. And moreover, Power BI recently released an update. Now slicers look really good with dates even. So let's add another slicer, and this time drag period into here. And as you can see here, you've got a wonderful slicer where you can just scroll around and select the dates. Watch how beautiful this is. This is amazing. This is just incredible how like it just looks really natural and integrated. You see, like I'm adjusting and it's changing. So if I want to cut it off here and see what was happening until 2010, so I can see that there was this climb like that, or I can visualize what was happening after. And by the way, you have options here, so you can click the drop down and you can say instead of between, you can say before. So you can look at everything that happened before, and it removes that first part, or you can do everything that happened after. You can do a list of actual elements from your data set, and just select them like that. But that's probably not the best idea with dates, so between is probably the best option here. And you can specify the date hard-code it in, or you can choose from a calendar. How cool is that? You can actually select the dates, so you don't have to hard-code things in. You can specify, so you don't have to type it in manually. You just go through this calendar and find the date that you want. Again, let's go back a bit. So just specify the date and it'll adjust like that. So there we go. Or you can just clear selection. Very, very handy tools, these slicers, and they make your visualization very friendly, very user friendly for adjusting. So hopefully you enjoyed today's tutorial, and have a play around with that, see what insights you can derive by using these different slicers that we've created. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Until then, happy analyzing.